Hey everybody, Rosematter here. Welcome to part 6 of my Tsukihime Let's Play. Last episode, the big thing is that we have agreed to help Arcueid take down. She gave us a lot of lore, a lot of exposition about like how the vampire society works. Essentially, from what I remember, is she said that Nervasker, however you pronounce his name, wasn't the main guy that she was hunting for. He was just kind of like in the way, but the big bad that she's hunting for kind of hides himself away, and he has what I believe are called like the dead, like his dead, which are essentially like zombies that go out and get blood for him. So we came across one of them in the last episode, but she did let us know, like, that's not who I'm hunting. I'm hunting down this other vampire, but he hides himself away, so I need your help to help me find him. So we agreed to team up and help her out. So that is where we are, where we're gonna like meet together and we're gonna like go basically vampire hunting. Also, Arcueid just showing right up at the mansion without any shame at all. So now Akiha knows about Arcueid and she does not agree with me hanging out for her. So that's definitely going to cause some conflict. So we're going to continue on. And I promise this is going to be a longer episode for YouTube than last week's. Also, I do want to mention that I am going to be taking next week off for a week just to kind of like give myself a break after the holidays, because I've been like just churning out a bunch of episodes and a bunch of videos, and I just need a little bit of a break after all that. So there will be no episode of Tsukihime next week, but I am going to be doing a longer episode this week to try and make up for that. So anyway, guys, let's get back into the story and see what happens next. Back then, the whole mansion was like a giant playground. The garden, a deep forest. The house, a tall castle. We played in our own little world, which would take days to explore. Every day was fun. No one thought about ever growing up, and we believed that days and nights would always be the same. It was just a childhood spent playing like puppies. We got along wonderfully and were the best of playmates. Whenever I turned back, Akiha would be there, waving her hands and hiding shyly. Always the same. At that time, the mansion was a giant playground, the garden a deep forest. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, did I accidentally have it repeat itself like I've done before? But okay. I slowly awaken and open my eyes. The morning light wraps around me, and my sleepiness starts to lift. As the last vestiges clear, I sense that I had a very nostalgic dream. As soon as I open my eyes, I start to see those terrible things jump into my vision. My head stabs with pain. I scramble for the glasses by my pillow and put them on. I take in some air. After taking a few deep breaths, I manage to calm down. Why did I, so early, see those lines so clearly this early in the morning? It's difficult to see the lines of death in buildings. Maybe the more he uses his abilities, maybe even with his glasses, he won't be able to stop seeing them. It's usually hard to see them, and seeing them so clearly like I just did now is where it's like he's becoming like, what did Arcueid call him, like a monster or demon or something? It's like the more he uses his ability, it's like it becomes more pronounced, and yeah, maybe he won't be able to go back and there'll be nothing to stop him from ever seeing, like, you know, he'll have to see them always. What's more, I even saw those points. I think my headache is getting worse too. Sensei said these eyes would attract things that weren't good. I think Arcueid and these vampires are certainly not good. So maybe it's all affecting my eyes and making them stronger. It can't be. I'm probably just tired. Huh? Come to think of it, Hisui isn't here. It's already past 7. Normally, she would have already come in and woken me up. Maybe Hisui slept in, but I see my freshly prepared uniform on my desk. What is this? Maybe she had some other duties. I'm a little curious, but I guess it doesn't concern me. I don't have time this morning, so I should just hurry up, change, and go to the sitting room. As I go from the lobby towards the sitting room, I realize I forgot something terribly important. I open the door and stand there without taking a single step forward. Akiha is in the sitting room. Kohaku-san is nearby, and the two of them are drinking tea silently. Normally, she would say, "Good morning, Nisan," no matter how angry she might be, but she doesn't even look at me this morning. It goes without saying. Arcueid's coming here last night had some very lasting repercussions. Akiha's irritation is permeating the air. You could practically cut the tension with a knife. Good morning, Shiki-san. Well, it seems that she's remained unaffected at least. Yeah, good morning, Kohaku-san. Raising a hand to Kohaku-san, I enter the sitting room. Akiha glares at me as I shuffle into the sitting room. I'm not going to succumb to the silent pressure. Alright, that's exactly what I was gonna pick too, even as a joke. I should smooth things over with a cheerful greeting. First of all, I have to change the mood. It seems like I'll lose to her silent pressure if I act normally, so I'll have to switch my approach. Good morning, I say to her in English. What a great morning, isn't it, Akiha? Ha ha ha, I greet her frankly. I think she's staring at me harder. Ouch. If I keep receiving her silent pressure, without a doubt, she'll bore a hole right through me. I'm going to go get some breakfast, so I'm off to the dining room. Yep, I should retreat to the dining room. Nissan. Her voice stops me dead in my tracks. Well, of course she wouldn't let me go like that. What? Did you need anything from me? I try to play dumb. She doesn't even bat an eyelash. I have something to discuss with you before breakfast. Please, sit there on the sofa. Got it. Please keep it as short as possible. I plop down on the sofa across from her. Kohaku-san brings me a teacup. Her smile seems to say, hang in there, okay? And I'm able to gather up at least a little courage. I drink a mouthful of tea and meet her gaze. So, what did you want to talk about, Akiha? That woman last night. Just what is she to you? Ugh, that was close. Aki is normally so roundabout, but this time she asks straight on. I'm taken so much by surprise I almost spray tea everywhere. Nissan, did you hear me? Yeah, I hear you, loud and clear. Then please answer, that woman from last night. Just what is she to you, Nissan? That's a troubling question. She's a friend, a person I agreed to help. A friend so important you had to leave in the middle of the night? Yes, I don't intend to have to approve of all relationships you have, but you are in school now, correct? The eldest son of the Tohno family, going to places with some strange woman in the middle of the night? Please stop doing such shameless things. As she speaks, her cheeks flush and she looks away. I see. Akiha thinks my relationship with Arcueid is like that. Wait, Akiha, there's really nothing between us. I'm just helping her find something. After that, we won't ever see each other again. Oh, really? You certainly seem very close. That must be my imagination, right, Nissan? Her gaze is cold. If I lie with something like that's not it, things will be much easier, but more than the fact that I don't want to lie to Akiha, I really don't want to say that we aren't close. That may not be your imagination, maybe. Right, you were panicking like I've never seen you before. You were never serious about anything. And now you show all this emotion. Just what has gotten into you? That's not it. I was just totally caught off guard that she would actually come here. That woman calmly waited for you the whole time, Nissan. She cast a sideways glance at me. She really seems convinced that Arcueid and I are dating. Look, Akiha, you're getting it completely wrong. In the first place, we first met by me killing her, but I swallow the rest of those words. It would be too stupid to tell her the truth, but I can't even think of a good excuse, and I can only stammer. If you cannot answer, then let's change the question. You've been calling that woman her the whole time. What is her name? Arcueid. I see. So you do not meet at school. There are no foreign exchange students at your high school. Like Akiha says, there's no one from overseas at my school. It's right, but why does she know that much? So, Nissan, just where in the world did you meet a person like that? In the city. Just a coincidence? Oh, a coincidence. Then Arcueid must have talked to you. No, I was the one who talked to her. Well, not quite talked, but I was the one that initiated our contact. Why did you talk to her? I thought Arcueid-san was nothing to you. Or did you only intend it like that from the beginning? Her questions are right on the mark. Step by step, she draws closer to my secret. Like a snake staring at a frog, she ignores all my excuses and is trying to drive me into a corner. I can now only use force to end this conversation. That's enough. I said she's nothing to me. Besides, whatever I do doesn't concern you. You don't have any right to complain about who I date anyway. point at her directly. After giving an angered face, she stands up without a sound. That's odd. I thought she'd yell back at me, but instead she appears very uncomfortable and looks away. Even I didn't want to say this, but it's just, I get a bad feeling from her. If I were anyone else, I would just be resigned to it, but for you to be ensnared by her, doesn't that make me just a big fool? I don't know why, but she regretfully bites her lip as she says those words. That's what I'm saying. Or that's why I'm saying she's nothing special. What's wrong, Akiha? You seem a little strange. It almost looks like she's got like a teardrop in the corner of her eye. She's not jealous or something, is she? That like Arcueid's taking me away from her. I don't mean like in a romantic way. I don't think that Akiha's had those feelings for me, but maybe like she's finally got her brother back and now I'm just sneaking off in the middle of the night with some strange woman. That's enough. If you want to do as you please, then feel free, Nisan. Akiha storms noisily out of the lobby. I don't understand anything. Oh, Shiki-san, that was horrible of you. Kohaku-san gives a disappointed sigh and starts walking after her. Poor Akiha-sama, if you're going to bring your lover, please bring someone more normal. If you did that, Akiha-sama would have understood. Kohaku-san disappears towards the lobby after Akiha. And still no sight of Hisui, huh? She seemed not too happy with me either. Fourth period class is about modern society. The mood in the classroom is somewhat lighter than usual before lunch. Today's Wednesday, so there's one last hour of classes than usual. After lunch, there's homeroom and an hour of deciding what to do for the culture festival. What's more, tomorrow's a school holiday, so after this fourth period is over, it's practically vacation already. It's only natural for everyone to be waiting for the end of class bell to ring. Sleepy. I give a big yawn. The class is completely unchanged. The whole day progresses with nothing out of the ordinary. Come to think of it, I've been through so many strange experiences, I almost feel odd just sitting in class. And after classes are over and night falls, I'll have to go out once more with Arcueid. Thinking of that, I really don't have the time to be fooling around here. I look at my reflection in the window glass. Tohno Shiki's face seems to be happy for some reason. Ugh, I tighten my expression. It's not like roaming the streets with Arcueid is fun, so why am I acting like this? Arcueid, there is really something wrong. Looking out to the window and into the rear courtyard, I can see an illusion of her waving her hand at me and saying, I love she just unabashedly, without shame, will just show up to see me. That's gonna cause some gossip, I'm sure. Hey, wait a minute. What? I push myself onto the window and look down. I can only see the very edge of the rear courtyard. But without a doubt, Arcueid, in her usual manner, is at my school, and I'm sure Akiha is going to learn about this and be upset, like, oh, she's visiting you at school now. I look around the classroom. Fortunately, there's no one who'd noticed the strange foreigner waving to me. What is she thinking? I moan to myself as I clutch my head, but complaining does me no good. There's about 20 minutes until lunch. What are you going to do, Shiki? If you leave her alone, who knows what she'll do? Okay, so let's see what we do here. So we go to the courtyard now. That's right, preventable disasters should be stopped before they happen. Before she can start any interesting trouble, I have to take her off the school grounds. Sensei, I feel my anemia coming, so I need to leave. I raise my hand, and after getting permission from the teacher, fly out of the classroom. Ah, you're here. That was a pretty fast sprint. You're looking pretty lively this morning, Shiki. My jaw hangs wide open. As I sprint into the courtyard, Arcueid greets me with her usual radiance. It's smaller than I expected. I thought a school would be much bigger than the... Ka! I grab Arcueid's arm. You, come with me. Dragging Arcueid behind me, I dash to a place where people won't see us. Hey, what are you doing taking me here all of a sudden? This place is no fun at all. Arcueid seems to be disappointed in this place, but it's not like school is really an interesting place to begin with. What are you doing? That's my line, Arcueid. I let go of her arm and thrust my index finger towards her face. Eh? What do you mean? I'm asking you why you're walking around during daytime and why you came to my school. You haven't even healed yet, so why can't you just settle down and rest? I mean, she already explained that. She said that, like, if she rests, then she's gonna be vulnerable, but I guess they'd only be able to attack her during night, right? Well, since you said you'd help me, I thought I would look for clues during the day. I didn't want to make you do any extra work. Don't worry about that. Since I said I'd help, any extra work we'll do together, so just forget about it. Geez, you're weakest during the middle of the day, yet you still leave. Do you just enjoy making me worry? I'm sorry. No, as long as you understand, it's okay. Arcueid? I'm sorry for making you worry. No, actually, thanks. I think my heart beats loudly. Arcueid apologizing like this is a bit out of the ordinary, or, I think, terribly cute. But you're at fault too, Shiki. I was watching for the longest time from the courtyard, but you never noticed me. I didn't know how to get inside, so I was thinking about dashing up to where you were. Well, now I kind of wish I had picked the other option just to see if she would have just burst into the classroom. Dash up? You mean to my classroom on the 3rd floor? Yeah, footing wouldn't be difficult on the veranda, and it's really easy to jump up there. I take it all back. As usual, she completely lacks any common sense. Good. That wouldn't have been pretty if you did that. I breathe a sigh of relief. I don't think many people noticed her. In the first place, there's only a few desks that can look out into the courtyard. And? So why the heck did you come to my school? You said you were looking for clues. I just felt something from around here. Then I picked up your scent and realized it was your school. So you weren't thinking and you just came here for no reason? I give a frown. Is she a dog or something? Well, she's a cat, actually, if you look at her little sprite, right? That's like her little cat form. Well, excuse me, I came here for a reason. There's hardly any traces of the dead here, so I wanted to see it for myself. Really? But if there's no traces of the dead here, then shouldn't this place be unimportant? There's no one at school at night, so if the dead want some prey, they'd go downtown, not to a school. Well, that does make sense. There's nothing strange here. I can't really sense the dead, but since my eyes see death, I can tell without taking off my glasses. I see. If you say so, Shiki, then there's nothing strange about this place, perhaps. Not perhaps. Definitely. Arcueid looks like she doesn't believe me. Which means there's definitely something wrong at this school. Something's gonna happen at the school. And then the chime rings, announcing the end of 4th period. I'm still a little suspicious of Ciel. Like, what's her deal with her stiffing and everything? Oh no, is it lunch already? Even though most people don't stay by this grove, since it's lunchtime, there will be a lot of people walking by. Anyway, if we stay here any longer, people will see us. I'll keep my promise for sure, so just go home and rest. We may see the enemy tonight. Oh? You sound like you want me out of here, Shiki. She starts to look angry again. It's just your imagination, so hurry on back. Otherwise things might get a little hairy. Go, go. I push her from behind. Though her eyes indicate she wants to say something, she just leaves silently. After watching Arcueid leave, I return to the courtyard. What is it? Someone is looking this way. I knew it. I knew it. Senpai? No mistake. It's Ciel Senpai. Did she ever specify that the vampire she was after was a man? What if it was Ciel? What if she was actually like... But they said that he can't come out at night, and I think she did say it was a guy. There's something about her. Maybe she's one of his underlings. No mistake, it's Ciel Senpai, but why is she making that expression? Or maybe she's a vampire hunter. She's a fearsome expression that almost makes me doubt it's actually her. Senpai, I call out to her as I run. Senpai simply stands there, watching me. What are you doing here? Same for you, Tohno. What were you doing there? Lunch has begun, so for you to be back here, you must have skipped 4th period class. Of course not. I just flew out of the classroom, that's all. Oh, Senpai answers without any enthusiasm. It's her normal smile, but it seems like she's glaring at me. More than that, did you eat lunch yet? If not, would you like to eat with me? I try and play it all off casually. I'm sorry, I already have someone else. Please ask me some other time. For an instant, she looks incredibly down as she says that. Senpai? What's wrong? It could just be she's literally jealous, like she doesn't have any idea that Arcueid's a vampire and she just sees me talking with another girl. Senpai, what's wrong? You don't look too well. No, that isn't it. It's true that fun things end rather quickly, Tohno-kun. She gives a brilliant smile in contrast to before. With that, she walks inside by herself. As expected, the debate over what to do for the Culture Festival is a stormy one. Since everyone's opinions are different, the decision gets postponed until next week. By the time it's over, it's late in the afternoon. Everyone gets up tiredly from their chairs and leaves the classroom. Well then, there's nothing to do in the classroom. I should get ready for tonight and go back to the mansion. I don't swing by anywhere else and head right back to the mansion. The sun hasn't quite set, so Akiha probably isn't back yet. That Akiha, I wonder if she's still mad like this morning. Well, that can't be helped either. I can't tell her the truth, so I'll probably just continue to be hated as a terrible older brother. Welcome back, Shiki-sama. Hisui bows as I enter the mansion. Yeah, I'm back. Thanks for greeting me, Hisui. It's been a week since I've come back, but I'm not used to this yet. Akiha isn't back yet? No, she told me to tell you she'd be back especially late tonight. So please eat dinner on your own, Shiki-sama. I knew she'd still be angry from this morning. I slump my shoulders as I start to walk to my room. And then, Shiki-sama, Hisui looks around the lobby before she speaks again. Forgive me for asking an awkward question, but will you be leaving tonight again, Shiki-sama? Eh? She fixates her emotionless eyes on me. I think she simply wants to know what time I'll be back because she's so dedicated of a servant. But letting her know means Akiha would know. I should... Oh. Okay, so we can get a bad ending here, so let's save first. So we say, I can't let anyone know. I feel bad doing this to Hisui, but I can't let her know. I have to keep Arcueid a secret, and it's not like I can let Hisui or Kohaku-san or Akiha know that I'm looking for the serial killer. No, I don't have any reason to go out. Akiha scolded me today, so I'll stay put for a bit. I understand. Then I will close the gate at the normal time. She speaks plainly without any expression. I wonder if I die by, like, trying to climb over the gate and then I, like, impale myself if there's, like, spikes at the top or something. The conversation ends and I go up to return to my room. After dinner, I go back to my room. It's almost 10 o'clock, so as not to be discovered, I should go outside as discreetly as possible. Now then, shall I go? Placing my knife in my pocket, I leave my room as quietly as I can. It's probably because of all the recent murders, but it's only 10 o'clock, and there's no one in the park. The empty night hangs overhead. There, a white figure stands. Shiki. As soon as she sees me, Arcueid angrily yells at me. Hey, what time do you think it is? You're 20 minutes late. It seems she came here right on time. Yeah, sorry, I left before 10 o'clock, but it took some time trying to leave the mansion without Akiha noticing. I'll definitely be on time the next time, so please forgive me. I wonder if those 20 minutes are gonna, like, make a big difference. Geez, you don't seem to realize we're going to go killing. Arcueid practically pouts. Don't tell me she was waiting long before the promised time. Arcueid, since what time have you been waiting for me? Me? I came here as soon as I woke up, so... Arcueid thinks this over. Probably since 7? 7? You were waiting for more than 3 hours? What in the world was she thinking coming 3 hours early? It seems I'm strange. As if truly amazed, Arcueid mumbles to herself. Well, I'm partly to blame because I was late, but don't you have some issues too? If you come before the agreed time, of course you'll have to wait. Hey, that's something entirely different. The fact you were late doesn't change. Well, that is true, but why did you wait 3 hours? If you had that much time, couldn't you have just gone back to your room? I don't know why either. It somehow was fun. While I was thinking it was nice waiting for you, it was already 10 o'clock. Fun? Why? Who knows? Didn't I say I didn't understand it myself? Maybe because you killed me. At the time, something broke that couldn't be healed. I think it's strange myself, but I can't understand what's broken inside of me. Having her say that is very troubling. Having sliced her into 17 pieces. She says there's something wrong. That's all I can do is to apologize. It's okay, we don't have much time, so we can't waste time talking about pointless things, Shiki. Yeah, saying that really helps me out. But if you're ever late again, I'll just have to go to your house and pick you up. You're the one who couldn't keep the promise, so you have no complaints, okay? No way. I'll keep it, but random unfortunate circumstances like today could happen at any time. If I'm late, that'd be the last thing you should do. Look, don't come to my house even if it's a mistake. What's more, Akiha doesn't know about all this, so please don't make things more complicated than they are. Huh? Akiha? Your sister that doesn't look at all like you? You said a little too much, but yes. Ooh, are they actually related, maybe? I mean, that seems like a strange thing to say, that they don't look alike. I see. You're that scared of your little sister? Shut up. I just don't want to worry her. At the very best, I'm a bother to her, so I don't want to tire her out even further. You really are sweet to your sister, Shiki. I'm basically nice to everyone. Well, recently there's been an exception to that. Haha, that's me. You're always dense. That was an insult, not a compliment. Not at all. To you, I'm an exception, right? How could I not like that? She smiles again, a child's smile, bright and carefree. If I keep seeing that, I'll lose all my venom. I'm tired all of a sudden. Let's start looking for the vampire, Arcueid. Yes, it's about time. Then we'll start walking around town. Shiki, I want you to take off your glasses. Is that alright? Take off my glasses? Why? It's hard to notice them with just me. I can sense the presence of humans and non-humans, but that won't help me find the vampire. All I can sense is the presence. But with your eyes, we can quickly tell between living and dead things. So, it's a waste if we don't use what we have, right? Certainly, I can understand what she's saying, but taking off my glasses means... I know, even I could feel your eyes getting stronger these past few days, and if you keep doing this, it may not be good for your health. I'm still saying despite that, but the choice is up to you, so I'm not going to force you. If you think it's alright to do so, take off your glasses and follow me. Take off my glasses and walk around town? I haven't done that since I retrieved these glasses 8 years ago. Okay, so it was 8 years ago. Because they mentioned in the last episode about how there hasn't been vampire activity in the city for 8 years, which coincides with my accident, right? In the first place, the things I see without my glasses gives me such a headache, it'd be easy to imagine what would happen if I walked around town. But still, just like Arcueid, who keeps going even though her wound hasn't healed, Tohno Shiki should do the same and pay back his debt. Arcueid, I'm fine. Isn't it just a headache? Compared to the pain her body must be feeling, this is nothing. It's fine, I can take off my glasses. It's a small price to pay to make our search easier. I see. Then let's go, Shiki. Arcueid turns around and starts walking. I take off my glasses as I follow her. Follow Arcueid. I haven't walked in scenery so riddled with lines since my hospitalization back then. Strangely enough, I don't get a headache. It seems just seeing them won't cause it. It's not the thin lines in the buildings, but seeing the lines on the people walking by that makes me sick. Before, I thought they were just lines that were easy to cut along, but now I know they're the death of things. That's why I feel disgust first. It's not that those figures of people scribbled over with lines are disgusting. Just seeing that humans are in existence so close to death makes me feel like throwing up. We walk the nighttime streets. Arcueid doesn't say anything. She just continues to stride forth resolutely. We walk for hours in the midst of town. In the end, we don't see one apparition, not one person wrapped in death. Shiki, you can put your glasses back on. It seems like no matter how much we search tonight, it'll be useless. Arcueid concludes with a sigh. I put my glasses back on. My vision returns back to normal, and I relax. Useless? Is it okay to just decide that all of a sudden? We've only looked everywhere once, right? No, just once is enough. The presence of the dead tends to linger around a place. I haven't sensed any of them around at all, so there aren't any that are active. The enemy's alert now that most of his dead are defeated. Seriously, he really is a coward. I was so prepared to finish it all tonight, but it appears he still wants to play hide and seek. Arcueid bites her lip, dissatisfied. You look like you're in a bad mood, Arcueid. Of course I am. You went through such trouble to help me, but it's all meaningless. Well, I don't really mind. If you're that dissatisfied, I don't mind going out to look again. Maybe if I concentrate more, we can find something. That's no good. I can't strain you anymore. Strain? I'm not really straining. You are. You might not realize it, but if you abuse your brain anymore, you might end up disabled. Disabled? Who? You. That's right. You don't exactly know how your eyes work. Okay, you said yourself it was easier to see the death of living things than non-living things, right? Basically, it's a problem with the circuitry of your brain. The death of things. Being able to see that cause and effect. It's closer to reading than seeing. Everything has a main reason, the one source. It's the same thing that a German scientist called the Akashic record. In other words, in the core of all phenomenon, there's something that records all things. It's less of a record than an existence, so it isn't information. It just exists. It doesn't have any purpose in and of itself or any direction. It's like a root swirl from which flows out all reasons. Things in this world flowed from that, derived from that, and preserve their current form. You and I, vampires and humans, we all originated from that. Things become more complex and separate and cannot return to that original source, the beginning. But you understand that there exists the one, right? But no matter how different a form something takes from the great source, it's still a derivative. So even if it's only a slender line, there is a thread connecting to the source. The source of all things, the record that records the beginning and the end of all things. Being connected to that means knowing the end of all things. Originally, the brain has the ability to control reception and transmission, but most humans close off all these circuits except for themselves. But there are those people who have their circuits open latently, without a single use of magic circuits. There are humans who, despite not being of a transcendental race, have the potential to create transcendent phenomena. Magi classify them as being psychics. While still human, they are mutants who are born with magic circuits, such as without any learning of the occult, someone who can see the death of things. I'm sorry, Arcueid. It appears I can't understand this kind of conversation at all. It's okay if you can't understand, but what I want to tell you is you shouldn't try to see things that are hard to see. Probably, if you want to, you could see the death of non-living things. But in order to do that, your brain has to open its circuits from the classification of living things to the classification of non-living things in order to understand. That's normally an impossible process. As a result, it overloads your brain, and you'll end up being useless. Useless? You mean these eyes won't be able to perceive death anymore? Of course not. Shiki, what happens to an engine that blows up from overload? It goes to the junkyard. Once an engine breaks, you can't use it again. Oh, that's it. In other words, the headache I get from seeing death is like the screaming of an engine that's working too fast. You understand? If you can just see it, it wouldn't be a problem. But stop trying to see things you can't perceive. The blood vessels in your brain will burst, and it will all be over. I'm speechless. I've been living like this without realizing the seriousness of it all. You really have to thank the magus who gave you those glasses. Most psychics use their abilities without realizing how dangerous they are and end up disabling themselves. Well, those kinds of people are often incompatible with society, so maybe it's for the best. It seems that that's the reason I'm here. I'll let you go back to living the life you had before. Sensei said that and gave me these glasses. I have so much to thank her for. My chest tightens. That person, in so many ways, really did save me. Uh-huh? I feel a sharp sensation. Not pain, but something strange, like an itch. Shiki? What is this? It was really only for an instant, but it was like something was in my chest. Huh? Not understanding, I placed my hand inside my shirt. Wetness. Something sticking to my chest, like ink. What is this? Something's wet? I pull out my hand from my shirt. On my open palms is bright red blood. Now it looks like I overexerted myself. It's too late. Eh? Sting. Another strange sensation. It takes me a horribly long time to understand that it's coming from the old scar on my chest. Shiki, that's weird. It doesn't hurt, and it's not even an open wound, but there's blood all over my chest. It's so red, a beautiful, unmuddied red that steals my eyesight. Well, it doesn't hurt, so it's gotta be okay. It seems to have stopped bleeding, so there's no need to... Arcueid stares dumbfounded at my hand. No, more accurately, she stares at the red blood coating my hand. Arcueid? Arcueid doesn't respond. She just starts to breathe heavier. Pants, as if she's trying to withstand pain. Hey, Arcueid, what's wrong? Does your wound hurt? I grab her shoulders, and then she jumps back as if she were trying to escape. Oh, shit. She stares at me like I'm an enemy. Arcueid? Is it because I'm bleeding? Is she like, is there a vampire like senses taking over? Like she senses blood? Is she gonna kill me right now? It's like she won't be able to resist if I'm bleeding. Shiki? Short, clipped, her voice even contains enmity. I never thought about it. She averts her gaze awkwardly. What's wrong? You're acting strange. You still haven't recovered yet? Perhaps. It seems I pushed myself too hard. So I'll go back now. Yeah, I guess we'll call it a night. Yeah, I'll be waiting here tomorrow. That was interesting. Not looking me in the eye, Arcueid leaves quickly. It's like she wanted to kill me in that moment or drain my blood, but she's like, she has to stop herself. I go up the residential hill and arrive at the outskirts of the mansion. It's around 2 in the morning. As expected, I'm totally assailed by sleepiness. I wonder if she's going to be okay. I'm concerned about how she seemed when we parted. It seemed like it wasn't pain from her wound, but... Crap, the front gate's locked. It's only natural, but it's still locked. If I climb over the wall like yesterday, the alarms will probably go off. Dang, does this mansion have a rear entrance or something? I walk around to the mansion perimeter. Anyway, there is something like a rear entrance, but it's locked, so I can't get in. It's probably not possible to force my way through to the garden. Dang, this keeps up. I'll have to spend the night out here. Oh shit, am I gonna get killed because... Ooh, maybe. Maybe that's what's happened, because I'm gonna get a bad end here, so by not telling Hisui and maybe like Akiha about the fact that I'm planning on leaving again, if I tell them I'm gonna leave, maybe they'll at least leave the gate open, but if I'm out here, I'm prey. I want to avoid that if possible. People don't really go by the mansion, so after the sun sets, it's just a deep darkness around here. Walking around during these hours sends chills down my spine. Huh? What is that? It feels like there's someone lurking in the shadows, not illuminated by the streetlights. Thump. My heart stops, my breath. My blood rushes through my body. The sensation. Certainly, there is someone standing there. The figure gets closer and closer. Footsteps. The sound of dry footsteps reaches my ears. Thump. I have a bad feeling about this. Chills race up my spine. The figure draws near. Suddenly, the streetlights shatter loudly. The moon is hidden by the clouds. The whole world instantly turns to darkness. Thump. My heartbeat skips, as if warning me of death. Perhaps I was tired after having walked the perimeter of the mansion for so long. My body gave an all too sluggish reaction as I tried to leap backwards. A knife running through the dark, the sound of the flesh over my heart being sliced. I don't understand, just that there's a knife sticking through my chest. Ooh, okay. So I'm wondering if this is the guy that Arcueid's after. He certainly looks different from the usual, just like the dead, the fact he's got his own sprite. The clouds part for a brief moment, and the dark figure is illuminated. Ah, an eerie figure wrapped entirely in bandages. That's the last thing I see. Alright, I like that ending because it was a delayed reaction. The one so far, it's basically been like, I made the wrong choice and immediately faced the consequences. With this, there was like a little bit of a delay. I am deeply sorry. Ciel-sensei is on her lunch break. Please wait until she returns. She's neglecting her duties and snacking on curry bread. Get over here, stupid Ciel. I feel the same way, but if she's not here, it cannot be helped. You cannot do anything about someone not here. And it's just too miserable to just complain about how much Nason cannot clean or tidy things up. Now then, we shall begin the customary correction corner. Shiki-sama, hiding things does not give good results. If you learned from this experience, please trust Hisui next time. That's all. I will now return to the mansion. Please continue enjoying the main storyline. Yeah, that woman. I smell another cat-like character. Oh, a little bit of a hint there? Okay. Alright, here we go. We will tell her the truth. That's right. No matter how hard I try, I can't hide it from Hisui and Kohaku-san, who are in charge of maintaining the mansion. So the least I can do is let them know when I'll be gone every night in the following days. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I'll probably leave for a number of nights starting now. I swear I'm not just playing around or doing anything bad. Akiha will probably end up hating me, but I can't stop now. Yeah, the vampire is still somewhere in town, preying on victims. As a person who lives here, I just can't pretend like I didn't see it. I know it's a burden to you, Hisui, but please overlook it. I don't know what time I'll be back, so please just leave the gate unlocked. Shiki-sama, are you saying you will not tell us why? Yeah, sorry, Hisui. You can think I'm totally irresponsible, but please don't ask. I don't want to have to lie. No, you are my master. A servant does not despise her master like that. She speaks plainly and without any expression. The conversation ends, and I go to return to my room. Please wait. Forgive my impertinence, but... After cutting off, she tightens both of her hands as she looks over me. If you'd like me to, Shiki-sama, I can keep your leaving a secret from Akiha-sama. Eh? You mean you're not going to tell? Yes, after dinner, it's extremely rare for Akiha-sama to leave her room. Nason and I are responsible for conducting a patrol right before she sleeps, so if I do not tell the truth, she will not know. Yeah, that helps. It helps, but is that okay? Isn't she your employer? I told you, you are my master, Shiki-sama. I'm kinda happy. I always have to tell her to stop adding sama, but at times like this, I think I'm incredibly lucky. How can I help but be happy? That helps, so if you can, please do so. Then please use the rear entrance tonight. The front entrance will be locked, but if you have the key and use the servant's entrance, you can come and leave undetected. Oh? There's a servant's entrance. No wonder I never saw you leave through the gate. No, the only one who uses that is Nason. She has the key, so I'll get it to you later. Well then, she says, after which she bows and disappears. All right. Help just came from an unexpected source. With this, it seems that I can keep my promise with Arcueid without worrying Akiha. After dinner, I go back to my room. It's almost 10 o'clock. While I was eating, Hisui placed the key on my desk. Now then, shall I go? Placing my knife in my pocket, I leave my room as quietly as I can. Alright, so we skipped the scene before, like, what I talked with Arcueid, so this is going to change because I can actually get into the mansion. I go up to the residential hill and arrive at the outskirts of the mansion. It's around 2 in the morning. As expected, I'm totally assailed by sleepiness. I wonder if she's going to be okay. I'm concerned about how she seemed when we parted. It seemed like it wasn't pain from her wound, but... Huh? What is that? It feels like there's someone lurking in the shadows. Okay, so this is the same. But thankfully this time, we have a way to get in. Certainly there is someone standing there. The figure gets closer. Footsteps. The sound of dry footsteps reaches my ears. Thump. I have a bad feeling about this. Chills race up my spine. The figure draws near. Suddenly, the streetlights shatter loudly. The moon is hidden by the clouds. The whole world instantly turns to darkness. Thump. My heartbeat skips as if warning me of death. I jump back for no apparent reason. A blade runs through the darkness. Not being able to get away fully, my glasses are grazed by it. Oh shit, they fall to the ground with a clatter. I've said this before, like, what happens if his glasses break? He'd have to try and find that woman again to, like, hopefully get another pair of glasses, or hope Arcueid can get him some glasses, because, like, otherwise he's boned. Who? The instant I start to say, "Are you?" the clouds part for a brief moment, and the dark figure is illuminated. What? A man wrapped entirely in bandages is gripping a knife. I mean, he could be one of the dead that the main vampire is controlling. The bandaged man goes to attack me again. I quickly ready my knife and stop it. 2 slivers of light shoot towards each other. I can't think calmly. The fact that I'm being attacked causes my mind to panic. Clang, clang. Sparks fly from our clashing knives and scatter into the darkness. I still can't calm down. It's not because I'm being attacked. Clang. I swing my knife to cancel out the one attacking me from every angle. Why? What's surprising is that my body is completely stopping all these attacks in this darkness without a pause. My body's moving by itself. No, that's not it. All my arms are doing is seeking out the lines and points I can see in the darkness with my glasses off. It's all I can see, so I swing my knife through the dark air after those lines. As a result, the bandaged man's knife is simply stopping mine. In other words, it's not that I'm defending myself, but he is defending himself from me. I can win. I don't know who he is, but there's no doubt. I'm overwhelming him. My blood rages forth for my advantage. I will win. I'm stronger than him. Because I'm stronger. Because he's trying to kill me. Aren't I just returning the favor? Clang. Clang. The sound of ringing metal echoes in the air, and I force him backwards towards the mansion wall. There, my eyes fixate on the line on his chest, and I thrust my knife forward. Okay, so that's got to be Akiha, right? Akiha and me. He said something. I said something about before how like I killed someone. So it's like I obviously have killed before, even before I killed Arcueid. Momentarily, for some reason, I see a boy painted in blood, and Akiha's crying face. I mean, the boy painted in blood could be me, right? Because like I've killed someone. I pull my knife back before completion. What am I? I'm trying to kill someone. Why? My head hurts. My legs wobble, and I stagger backwards. As I do so, I empty the contents of my stomach. My chest starts to itch. My head hurts. The old wound on my chest burns. My eyes feel like they're going to burst out of their sockets. I can't stop throwing up. The vomit splatters all over the asphalt. And there, the bandaged man comes after me with his knife. Clang, another collision. My knife shoots towards his. This time, I really defend myself. I know where he's aiming. Since I know, I block him once again with another clang. Clang, clang, clang. Despite not being able to see his knife due to its speed, I somehow manage to block it over and over. The reason I can defend myself is simple. Because where he's aiming at are the lines on my body. So I know where he's aiming at, and I understand more than anyone that having them cut would mean instant death. So I have to defend it. Okay, so someone who has the same ability that I have. Wait, aiming for my lines? Ah, it's the exact opposite of before. That means, don't tell me, The bandaged man smiles in the darkness. Thump. My heart rate goes out of control. Feeling some unnameable fear, I stumble backwards. He doesn't pursue me. He just smiles. His bloodshot eyes seem to be saying, "So you finally realized it," as he sneers at me. You can see them? Yes, he also can see the lines. Oh, maybe this is the big bad vampire. Or maybe it's a completely different vampire. Then he can also kill with one blow. The man laughs. He draws near while laughing. I, even down to my fingers gripping my knife, tremble uncontrollably. Slice, slice, slice. The sound of flesh being pierced by a blade resounds 3 times. And then a thud, a sound of a body hitting the wall. Eh? I can't grasp the situation. Did Arcueid just show up? The bandaged man was suddenly pierced by 3 spear-like pipes. What if this is Hisui? Wouldn't that be crazy? Not just pierced, but stuck onto the wall, like an insect pinned in a bug collection. You are in my way. His voice grates awfully. At the same time, the 3 spears alight like candles and engulf him in flames. I bet this is Hisui. Like, she knows that I'm out. She knew where I was going to be coming from. So maybe she like was waiting for me and she heard the sounds of fighting and she came out. Oh my god, this could be like an Umineko situation where like the servants are actually have powers. Ah! An anguished voice in the whirlpool of flames. In the darkness, that scene seems less cruel and almost beautiful. Ah! The bandaged man. No, the bandages are burned already. His skin is showing. Wrapped in the flames, the man stares at me. His bloodshot eyes filled only with murder. His black eyes like a weapon bent on cursing Tohno Shiki. What? Stunned, I can only watch. He runs off into the distance, still engulfed in flames. The moon reemerges. After those flames and that cursing voice, everything returns to silence like it was before. I fall to my knees and lean against the wall. I look up at the sky. In the direction where those spears flew from, someone is standing high and far off. Okay. Oh, that's Ciel. That's Ciel. Okay. Oh, shit. I did say, I'm like, I bet she's a vampire hunter. She's got the cross. She's got the cross. She's got like a priest outfit. Oh, yeah. I forgot about Ciel. Here I was thinking maybe it's Hisui, but oh, shit. That's why he's so pissed off at seeing me with Arcueid. Far away, standing composed on top of the streetlight, I see a familiar figure. Eh? Robes like a priest from another country. Clenched in her hand, large, nail-like swords. Emotionless, pale eyes. Blue, sky-blue eyes. Senpai? Under the moonlight, I can only make out the silhouette, but she seems to resemble Senpai. Our eyes meet. Standing figure on top of the streetlight suddenly disappears like a ghost. I sit down roughly. Is it relief from my headache fading, or just the lifting of all this tension? Leaning my back against the wall, I start to drift off to sleep. It's funny, so in this case, the key really didn't have anything to do, like, I didn't make it inside the mansion. For some reason, I just was able to defend myself, and then Ciel showed up, whereas before, I didn't. Okay. Anyway. Alright, we're on the 8th day. Man, the days are just really flying by. Like, it felt with Fate, the days, like, they would be really long. Like, they would take at least an episode or two for me to finish each day. With this one, they're just like, zoom, zoom, zoom. White. The color white summons an old memory. Something forgotten. Something I was supposed to forget. Something my father commanded me to forget. A hot summer day. A blue sky and large, large columns of summer clouds. The wafting breeze and the droning voice of the cicadas. The voice of cicadas. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. So loud I want to die. Cicada shells are lying in the clearing. As if the sun is right by my side, the clearing is roasting. A hot midsummer's day, as if the entire world became a frying pan. I'm not... Akiha. Okay, I was like, I don't know what that sound is. Akiha's crying. Akiha, who would always obediently stay close behind me, is brimming forth with tears. A child lies collapsed at her feet. His white shirt is painted red with blood, and he doesn't move at all. I'm looking down at that. My hands are red, just like that child on the ground. No, that's not it. These hands are red with the blood of that child. Akiha, the adults are coming. Okay, so they say with the blood of that child. So, like, I did kill a child? When I was a kid, after seeing this sight, their expressions change rapidly. What in the... The adults take Akiha away. The child lies there, dead. Shit. So that's why they sent me away. In the distant sky, the white cloud. So I got into an accident, and then I was, like, put into the hospital, and then they probably sent me away because, like, I'm a monster. I'm left alone, staring at the sky aimlessly. Did you kill him? The adults are yelling at me. They shout my name, the one who killed the child. Those 2 syllables shouting, as if they went crazy. Just those 2 syllables. Those adults call me Shiki, as my hands are stained in red. I feel like I just saw an old familiar dream. I open my eyes. I'm in my room. After that, after losing consciousness by the mansion wall, it seems like I somehow made it back here. My thoughts still aren't coming together. I remember the whirling events of last night. That man wrapped entirely in bandages, and how he could see lines just like me, and he's not dead, unfortunately. After he was impaled by those swords, his body burnt to flame, and with a voice that sounded like his dying curse, he ran off. After that, I can only remember things vaguely. The figure on top of the streetlight. That figure that saved me, that seemed to resemble Ciel-senpai. Yeah, right. That can't be true. I finally wake up. Putting on my glasses, I get up in bed. The clock says it's past 8. Normally, I would have long since eaten breakfast by now, but today's a school holiday. Hisui isn't here. The figure of Hisui standing before the door like a shadow is nowhere to be seen. I'm sure she came here many times to wake me up, but I never did, so she probably went off to do other duties. I let out a deep breath. After I parted with Arcueid last night, the events afterwards were beyond my comprehension. That bandaged man, and the figure that helped me. They're just not things I can understand, no matter how much I try. Whatever the case, I have to meet Arcueid tonight. She has to be able to give me some answers. I'll talk to her about these strange things, but for now, I'll just have to return to my normal life, or I'll go crazy. Alright, first things first. Time for breakfast. People can't do anything on an empty stomach after all. Shaking the sleep from my body, I go to the sitting room. Huh? On the second floor east wing hallway, I see a dark uniform. It's probably Hisui. It seems like she was leaving Akiha's room. I guess we'll run into each other anyway, so it won't hurt to give her a greeting. Hey, Hisui! I call out to her. Hisui realizes I'm here and quietly walks over to me. Good morning, Shiki-sama. Yeah, morning. Sorry for just waking up whenever I felt like it. I apologize as well. I should have been there when you awoke. Please forgive me. Hisui silently bows her head. Being apologized to like this after I left in the middle of the night and managing to get back to my room, I suddenly feel like the worst person in the world. There's no need to apologize. I didn't wake up at the usual time, so it's my fault. It's okay if you want to voice your complaints. Voice my complaints? Yeah, my friend always says I'm always a lazy bum, and he always tells me an occasional whack to my back is good to set me straight. Hisui stands there, thinking silently as she stares at me. It's like that for about a minute. She doesn't even blink, but just stares at me. I knew forcing Hisui to do such an ordinary thing would be impossible. Don't worry about... just forget it. More importantly, I'm kinda hungry. Is breakfast ready? Nason went outside. Your breakfast is ready in the dining room. Oh, in that case, I'll go have some food. Sorry to bother you while you're working. After saying a quick goodbye, I head downstairs. I'm guessing she probably found me and was the one to put me to bed, maybe? Maybe I came back on my own. After breakfast, I return to the sitting room and come face to face with Hisui. Ah, that was good. Thanks for making such a great breakfast every morning. I bring my hands together in thanks. Preparing meals is Nason's duty. If you wish to compliment the meal, please tell Nason instead. It's true, but your duties are really completely separate? Such as like today when only I slept in? I thought you might make it. Shiki-sama, are you saying that the breakfast was not to your taste? Eh? Her words are so off-topic that it's troubling. Does she think I was saying I wanted her to make breakfast because the breakfast tasted so bad? Oh, that's not it. Even cold, Kohaku-san's cooking is delicious. But I like it when it's warm. And it'd make me really happy if I got to taste your cooking, Hisui. Maybe she's just a terrible cook. I cannot do that. Shiki-sama, I refuse to cook for you. Her eyes suddenly take on a challenging look. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to do. You do so much for me already. Still silent, she faces me as if she wants to say something. What could it be? Is it something that's difficult for her to say? What's wrong? Did I do something bad without realizing it again? Hisui shakes her head no. She just stands there silently. Then I'll go back to my room. If you need me, please call for me. Later, I say as I start to walk out of the room. But before that, Hisui walks towards the lobby. Shiki-sama? This may be impolite, but I wanted to fulfill your request to the best of my ability. Huh? She looks directly at me. This morning, I came to realize how powerless I am. 7 times. I called out 7 times, but there was no response. Is this acceptable? 7 times? What do you mean? I'm totally lost is what she wants to say. She turns around. To say it candidly, I think you are very dense, Shiki-sama. Hisui disappears into the lobby with her footsteps trailing in the air. Huh? Left by myself, I blurt out stupidly. After thinking to myself for a while, I finally realized she was complaining to me. It's okay if you want to voice your complaints. I said that earlier. That was my request? There's no mistake. Hisui was thinking about it the whole time, and was waiting for me in the sitting room just to tell me. Well, that is a complaint, but... She said it, but saying dense is a little too blunt, right? I don't really want to think of it, but does Hisui really hate me? I go back to my room, but I don't really have anything to do there. Thinking about what I should do next, I decide to walk around the mansion I haven't explored in 8 years. I arrive at the lobby. Come to think of it, I was always getting yelled at for playing in the mansion as a kid. I'm no kid anymore to play in the mansion, and my old man is also gone. I used to get so excited just walking the hallways when I was a kid, but now I don't feel anything at all. For some reason, I aimlessly wander around to the mansion to confirm my childhood memories. The hallway stretches quite a long distance. When I was a child, I believed this hallway would go on forever. The mansion seemed as large as a castle, and every day I would walk a bit around the mansion and carve my name on the wall, the pillars, or the floor. It was a sort of game I would play with Akiha to see who could take over the mansion. Saying that wherever I put my name became my territory, it really was just the two of us walking around to the mansion and carving our names here and there. Oh, here, still here. On the handrail by the stairs is carved the name Shiki. It was probably because of these games that my old man forbade us from playing inside the mansion. Anyway, if I look closely, I can see both my name and Akiha's all over the place. A spacious mansion. Well, I used to think it was like a giant castle. Now it almost seems like an abandoned haunted house, because I've grown up since then. Akiha and I were not the Tohno Akiha and Tohno Shiki that we were then. I go outside. Come to think of it, most of the time we spent playing was in the garden. Since Akiha was obedient to the old man, unlike me, she could only play outside for about 30 minutes a day. And still, she usually just stayed behind us watching and listening. But she would energetically run out with us and compete with us in whatever games we would play. Perhaps her personality stems from those times. She might have suppressed herself in front of the old man. But still, Akiha has changed too much since then. Maybe these 8 years were a longer time than I thought. I go to the courtyard. Outside, the walls are also inscribed with names. Shiki, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, Akiha, Shiki, 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 Shiki. The ratios are like that, and the name Shiki appeared far more times. I suppose Akiha was just a girl, so she couldn't keep up with the boy. Geez, it would have been better if I'd held back a bit. Cursing myself from that time doesn't change the number of my scribbles. If this were the case, I probably made Akiha pretty angry considering how much she hates losing. I see, maybe she's taking it out on me now. I'm sure she's not the kind to do that, but if she did, that's kinda cute. I'm an older brother stupid for his little sister. I really am. Well then. With a nostalgic, peaceful feeling, I stroll through the courtyard. Hisui? As I come to the rear courtyard, I see her figure from behind. Hisui doesn't realize I'm here. What is she doing going off into the woods like that? A bit curious, I follow her from a slight distance. And where Hisui headed to, there seems to be a small clearing. Huh? There's a clearing in that place? Tilting my head to the side, I try to remember, but for some reason, my memory is a bit vague. In the forest of the mansion, I can see a clearing, as if the trees were cut there. Okay, is this the clearing where I had the flashback where I killed that kid? No, can see is not quite right. If you walk by normally, you probably wouldn't even notice it. Hisui didn't walk there. Hidden enough by the surrounding trees as it is, I would have never noticed it even if I lived here all my life. Okay, so it's not. Is it like a secret entrance to something? There's something up with her and maybe Kohaku as well. Was that always there? If it was, we probably played there as kids. To say the least, I don't remember ever playing with Akiha in the clearing. Maybe, but it might be the same one. Maybe he's just blocking out the memory. I feel like I've never been there before. After thinking for a bit, I decide to go into the clearing. The clearing doesn't strike me as anything out of the ordinary. I don't see any sign of Hisui. What is this? It's just an empty place. I walk to the middle. It really is just an empty space. A perfectly level open ground. Deep woods enclosing the area. The voice of the cicada. Oh, yep, okay, so it is. The voice of the cicadas. And the strong summer sunshine that feels like it could dissolve. Summer? Sunshine? Ouch. The wound on my chest starts to hurt. It's like stabbing, this pain that feels like a kitchen knife stabbing my chest. Chirp. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. What is this? From somewhere, I can hear the voice of cicadas, but it's autumn now. Summertime, the summer sunshine bathes everything in white. Columns of summer clouds in the far sky. I can practically see the voices. At my feet, discarded shells of cicadas. Discarded shell. Someone's discarded shell. My wound opens. My chest becomes painted a dark crimson. Black vermilion soaks both my hands. Someone's crouched silhouette. The approaching footsteps of a young girl. The columns of clouds in the far sky. The discarded shells of cicadas. Then, in front of me, the crying face of Akiha, who's drenched in blood. Chirp, 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 chirp. Voices which try to pierce my eardrums. Voices of the cicadas. Oh, come on, give us more than that. My chest hurts. I feel sick. My wound is healed a long time ago, so why does it hurt so much? My chest is broken. The old wound opens. Blood flows forth from the opening. What is this? My wound. It hasn't healed at all. It hurts. I'm scared. This is the impulse called death. My consciousness sinks. My wound hurts. My body collapses to the earth with a large thud. I can hear voices talking. Akiha-sama, are you not going to call for a doctor? Don't be stupid, Hisui. There's no way I can do that, since Nissan's wound isn't normal. Akiha and Hisui are talking. This is Shiki's room. It looks like I'm sleeping in the bed. I planned to say yo and get out of bed, but I can't move at all. My chest doesn't hurt anymore, but my body feels as heavy as lead. All I can move are my eyes and mouth. Just what in the world were you trying to do, Hisui? You know not to let Shiki near that place. Please forgive me. This can't be solved by apologizing. You were assigned to serve Nissan to avoid this kind of situation. So what were you doing? Completely different from her usual manner, Akiha gives full vent to her anger. In comparison, Hisui's accepting the scolding, looking down silently. I'm not sure how this all came about, but I can at least tell that Hisui is being yelled at because of me. Answer me, Hisui. What were you doing? And where were you all day long? Hisui doesn't respond. The air grows tenser between them. Biting her lip, Akiha takes a step toward Hisui. Even I can understand that Akiha intends to hit her. Hisui seems to know it as well, but she just stands with her head hung in shame, ready to receive it. Hold on, Akiha. Nissan, you're awake? Yeah, you were so loud I woke up. Ah. Akiha looks away uncomfortably. Hisui still keeps looking down, not even trying to look at me. You know, you shouldn't let it out on Hisui. I don't know the circumstances, but this has to do with me collapsing, right? It's not her fault. I just collapsed on my own. I strain hard and somehow manage to lift the upper half of my body off the bed. But that's all I can manage, and I don't think I can even move an inch more. But since Hisui's depressed, I have to force myself to act as fine as possible. Honestly, getting into a fight over me, even if you look like an adult, you're still a child. But you completely fainted, Nissan. You were out for more than 10 hours, and nothing like this has happened before. Oh shit. I probably won't be able to meet Arcueid, which means she might be coming to get me. If you never woke up, what would I have done? Idiot, don't say things like that. Wasn't this just anemia? Huh? It's 10 o'clock already? Yes, you were unconscious since noon. She speaks hesitantly. I wasn't worried about me, but my promise to meet with Arcueid in the park at 10 o'clock. Oh no, I have to go. Akiha, I have to go, so I'll leave the rest to you. Don't bully Hisui, okay? Don't say such stupid things. I won't ask where you go every night, Nissan. I won't ask, so please, at least tonight, take it easy on your body tonight. I'm okay. This is pretty regular. When I was in middle school, I used to collapse twice a day. You know that, right, Akiha? That's why I'm more worried. Nissan, please listen to what I say, at least for tonight. She looks at me in the eye with a serious expression. Oh, okay. Alright, so surprisingly, actually, the correct answer is to do as Akiha says. Instinctively, I would choose the other one to push myself, which is the bad choice, so of course we're gonna pick that first. I'm happy she's so worried about me, but I can't break my promise with Arcueid. Yesterday, she waited 3 hours for me. That's not the whole reason, but with just my usual anemia, I don't want her to keep on waiting. Alright, I'll go to sleep for today. Saying that, I lie down. Really? You're not going to sneak out of the room later? Hey now, do you think I could sneak out in this shape? Yes, come to think of it, that is true. Akiha breathes out and visibly relaxes. Hisui, tell Kohaku that Nissan is awake. Nissan, what about dinner? Oh yeah, no, tell Kohaku-san I'm sorry, but I don't think I can eat right now. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I understand. Then Hisui, tell Kohaku that. Still looking downcast, Hisui nods and leaves the room. Then I will go back to my room. If anything happens, please call for me. No matter what time it is, I will come right away. Akiha turns off the light and leaves the room. Sorry, Akiha. Saying that, I lift myself up. Ugh, just lifting myself up causes my consciousness to swim. This isn't like my normal anemia. I know that, but I can't keep Arcueid waiting forever. I mean, Arcueid did kind of, like, hinted at it, like, you can't You can't push yourself or else basically your body's just gonna give out, and that's probably what's gonna happen. Knowing her, even if I left her there, she'll wait forever. I wobble to my desk. I take my knife out of the drawer and put on my jacket. Dang, like this, I really won't be able to sneak out. I have to gather up my strength just a little more until I can at least run comfortably, or Hisui will find me and take me back to my room. Sorry, Arcueid. It looks like I'll be even later than last night. I sit down on the floor. 1 hour. If I rest for another hour, I'm sure I can leave. I make it to the park before midnight. In the end, even after waiting an hour, my body still hasn't recovered, so it took me an hour to get there. I pant heavily. As my chest heaves rapidly, I look around me. Night hangs over the park. Near the place we decided to meet, there's a white figure standing. I knew she'd be waiting. I bet is that the bandaged guy? I let out a large breath. It seems like she notices I'm here. She walks straight towards me. Oh, never mind. Shiki, it's already 2 hours past the agreed time. What were... She cuts off as soon as she sees my face. Hey, what's wrong, Shiki? Your face is so pale. I can't even sense life in you. This isn't normal. Yeah, my anemia acted up again. It happens like this every now and then. Nothing to be surprised about. More importantly, I'm sorry for making you wait for 2 hours. No, I don't really mind, but Shiki, for you to come out in your condition is just weird. Even though she was really angry earlier, now it seems she's really worried. I made a promise, didn't I? I said I'd help you, so I'm not going to skip out on you. It makes me happy, but Shiki, you don't seem to understand your body at all. You don't need to tell me that, Arcueid. I've been carrying this recurring anemia for 8 years now. I'm pretty sure I understand my body. No, you don't understand how unstable your life is. I sensed it earlier, but now I know clearly. Shiki, you're always standing close to death. I don't know if it's a reaction to your mystic eyes of death perception or not, but you're walking on the thin line in between life and death. Saying that your anemia this time isn't a big deal because it wasn't a big deal before is a big mistake. She looks directly into my eyes coldly. Look, Shiki, your resistance to death by external means is higher than that of most people. It's probably because you've already faced death once before. But on the other hand, you have almost no resistance to death from internal causes. That anemia of yours, it wouldn't be strange if you die from it. What are you saying? Are you saying I'll get killed by something like a cold? Shiki, I'm trying to warn you seriously. I'm glad you came, but you have to think about your health first. So just go back for now and rest. She draws me closer to her. She really must be worried about me, because she's totally defenseless as we get closer. Before I can pull back, her chest touches mine. Thump. My head is assailed with another different kind of dizziness than usual. All the things I didn't realize before. The softness of her breasts, the whiteness of her skin, her beautiful golden hair, her womanly charm. Arcueid, please get away. Am I gonna kill her? Is like the need to kill her, is that gonna like pop up again? What are you saying, you can't trust the word of a vampire like me? Why are you saying this all of a sudden, idiot? There's no way I won't trust you. Liar. Then why can't you look at me? Did you get away from me because of a personal issue? I'm a guy, so if you get this close, it's a little troubling. Giving a small voice of surprise, Arcueid steps back. For time being. What if I died from like just heart palpitations every time like she touches me? The racking dual dizziness brought about by my anemia and Arcueid subsides. I guess she finally realizes our situation and looks at me embarrassedly. That idiot. Seeing her do that makes me think she's incredibly cute. This is troubling. I said stop. I mumble that quietly so as not to be heard. Those words are not directed to her, but to me for being excited by her. There really is something wrong. No matter how pretty she is, she's a vampire. Just what am I thinking for getting something like that? Anyway, I'm not that beat to have you start worrying about me. Besides, if I were attacked like I was last night, I might really die. She doesn't know about that, does she? So I can't take my time doing this. Shiki, what did you just say? I said if I were attacked like I was last night, I might really die. He's trying too, so we have to find him as soon as possible. Saying that, I suddenly remember. I forgot. Last night, I was attacked by one of those dead. Last night, after we parted? Yeah, he was entirely wrapped in bandages and was waiting for me by the mansion. Arcueid's expression suddenly turned serious. I can't believe it. How could you forget something so important? I couldn't help it. I've been through stranger things today. Oh well, more than that, please tell me in detail what happened, Shiki. With serious eyes, Arcueid interrogates me on what happened. Let's see. I calm down and describe as clearly as I can what happened last night. But I don't tell her that the bandaged man was seeing the lines of death. I can't prove it, so it may have just been my mistake. Yeah, that's about how it was. Finishing my explanation, I read her expression. From when I started until now, her eyes remained sharp without any gentleness. So what is it, Arcueid? The bandaged man and that person wearing the robes like some priest. Are they enemies of yours? Yes, both of them are enemies. I don't know just who or what the bandaged man is, but the woman wearing those Catholic robes I have an idea about. She narrows her eyes as if she were in a bad mood. No, she looks less that she's in a bad mood and more like she's irritated. I may know the person who helped you, Shiki. Man, if it's really her, she'll probably be able to find the enemy before me. She bites her lip vexedly. Wait a minute, I didn't say the person was a woman, though. No, there's no mistake. That woman is the only agent given authority to hunt heretics alone, who uses black keys that combine the cremation rite and the steel shell effect. Her irritability is almost like hostility. Even when she spoke about Nervensker, her voice was never saturated with emotion to this extent. Arcueid, the person who helped me, is she a vampire? Of course not. She's a member of those who see vampires as their enemy. It doesn't exist in this country, but there is an organization that considers vampires or beastmen as heretics and goes around killing them. The one who helped you was the most troublesome of that kind. Exorcists. That's strange. The burial agency wouldn't have sent an agent this soon. Arcueid speaks softly to herself. I can't understand what the hell she's talking about. Exorcist? Like a priest or something? It's not wrong, but it's not quite right either. Well, it would take a long time to explain, so just know for now that there are those who go around exterminating vampires. She tells me to just understand, but more importantly, why did you fight? You said you'd team up with me, but you never said you'd fight by yourself. She glares at me. She seems seriously concerned about my safety. That's not fair, Shiki. Keeping it a secret, having all that fun by yourself. Or not. And how the hell did you jump to that insane conclusion? Huh? You weren't trying to hide your monopoly on prey from me? She says something so absurd with a straight face. Idiot, that's not it at all. Fighting him was just a turn of events. Just a turn of events. I don't plan to fight with the dead or vampires without you. Oh? What kind of turn of events? My sense of justice as a normal person, or something like that. I kind of regret it now. Justice? She tilts her head as if to say, what's that? Yeah, I was painfully shown yesterday. It is just a justification. Back then, when I realized there was a figure in front of me, there was only fear. That thing, that guy, I knew right away he wasn't normal, but all I could do is tremble. And then, I brought out my knife to meet him, and began a fight to the death. You can't kill someone using a cheap notion like justice. People kill to preserve their own life. That's the most primitive, simple logic of beasts. That logic, at that time, if the person resembling Senpai hadn't come, I probably would have executed that action without hesitating. Arcueid, the person who came to help me, can you tell me a little more about her? There's nothing more to tell. She's an inquisitor for the church. What I said earlier, the group that's like a nemesis to all vampires. This burial agency, not so much exorcists as murderers. No, killing machines are a specialized group responsible for dealing with heretics. I'm very surprised that their eyes reach even in the Far East. Arcueid crosses her arms while deep in thought. She looks devoid of emotion, entirely different from before. She's serious. She might be thinking more seriously about this than the enemy she's after. Arcueid, I don't quite understand, but those exorcists hunt vampires, right? Then aren't you their target too? I ask her that because I'm a little worried. Of course not. They're only natural enemies of the dead apostles. We don't fundamentally mess with each other, so there cannot even be a fight. But if she is who I think she is, she has to be armed with the 7th Holy Scripture. So I don't understand, if Ciel's not her enemy and is not going after her, and she wants that vampire dead, then, and she's like, oh, that woman will probably get to him first, then why does she care? As long as the guy's taken care of. I'm assuming there's something more to this, but essentially she would just be doing the job for us. Okay, there's the danger of her getting there first. Okay, getting there first. I can't quite grasp what she's saying. I don't get the details, but it seems like Arcueid doesn't appreciate the emergence of this person who resembles Senpai entering the stage. Well, I guess it doesn't concern me. Well then, now that we're calmed down, shall we begin? I didn't come here for nothing, so maybe we should at least find one of the dead. Geez, what are you saying with such a pale face? We got off topic because you said something weird. But didn't I tell you to pay more attention to your body? Arcueid glares at me. I didn't think she was before, but she does seem honestly concerned about me. Okay, your body's more unstable than most people, so if you don't rest at a time like this, you're risking your life. You pass out a lot. Not because of anemia, but because your body understands it's in danger. Your body senses the danger before you do, so it stops working to prevent your body from getting any worse. For real? There's no reason for me to lie, right? Anyway, I warned you. Whether you believe me or not is up to you, Shiki. Up to me? Well, I don't think there's any reason for you to lie to me. As I speak, I sink deep into thought. I always thought I passed out because my body was weak from anemia, but now she's saying it's because my body's trying to protect me like a safety switch. What is this? Anyway, we won't go investigating tonight. I don't think the enemy will reappear until his wound is healed. And if he appeared by your house without using the dead, it means he doesn't have any left. Okay, so she's saying that is the man vampire that just decided to show up and take me out. She says this all severely. She says so. I can't argue. In the first place, it's impossible for me to go look for vampires by myself. Alright, if you say so, Arcueid, I'll rest for tonight. Please do. Not only did you get attacked last night, but your body is so weak now. It'll be troublesome if you don't sleep tonight, and return to your normal self by tomorrow. I see. It's true that I can't really help you in this condition. Okay, I'll get myself fixed by tomorrow. No, that's not it. It's boring talking to you when you're like this, so I just want you back to normal, that's all. She almost seems disappointed. I knew it was useless to try and understand her. I'll be heading back to the mansion. See you tomorrow, Arcueid. Raising a hand, I start my walk back. Hey, Shiki. Arcueid stops me. What? Is there something else? Should I escort you home? She averts her gaze and speaks hesitantly. In her own way, she really is worried about what happened last night. Thinking that, I guess it's not that bad. Oh, before I can say yeah, I suddenly stop. Wait, aren't you forgetting your vow you made just now, Shiki? No matter how pretty she is, Arcueid is a vampire. Can't forget that. If I relate myself to Arcueid more than necessary, I feel I'll cross a line I should never cross. Cut it out. I don't need to be worried by you. Don't do things that don't suit you, stupid. Yeah. Just a little. Just for an instant, Arcueid looks down, but then raises her head. Then see you tomorrow. Waving her hand goodbye energetically, the white-clothed vampire walks off into the darkness of the night. Interesting. So, I thought I was gonna get a bad end here. It said if I pick the second choice, I have to push myself. I would get another lesson. Maybe not? Interesting, okay. In my dream, I'm staring at the moon. I can't remember where I am or why I'm looking up at it. Maybe I looked up into the night sky, not wanting to see anything, and the moon happened to be there. My back creaks. Coursing through my veins is an image of coldness. A solitary darkness that makes me dizzy. A radiant moon that sickens my heart. Strange. The overwhelming coldness feels more like a sense of nostalgia. Shiki-sama. I can hear Hisui's voice mingling with the morning light. Shiki-sama, it is time. Please wake up. Her inflectionless voice awakens me. As soon as I wake up, terrible things enter my vision. I get a headache like I was just shot in the head. I almost lose my just awakened consciousness, but before I fade away completely, I quickly grab my glasses. Shiki-sama, are you not feeling well? No, I'm just a little tired from yesterday. I'll be alright, so don't worry. Lightly shaking my head, I clear my head of what I was seeing. Last night, I forced myself to keep my promise with Arcueid, so my body isn't back to normal yet. Good morning, Hisui. Thanks for coming to wake me up, as always. Sitting up in bed, I do my best to smile naturally. No, this is my duty. There's no need for you to thank me, Shiki-sama. Really, but I am grateful. You're infinitely better than an alarm clock. I stand up. It's not yet 7 o'clock, about 10 minutes earlier than I usually get up. Breakfast? I'll be there soon, so please go ahead of me. Yes, I will wait for you in the sitting room. Giving a bow, Hisui exits the room. Well then, I'm still feeling a little sluggish, but it's not so bad that I have to skip school. I'm sure after I eat the breakfast Kohaku-san prepared, I'll feel a lot better. As usual, Akiha's sitting on the sofa, and Hisui's waiting by the wall. Good morning, Nissan. Did you sleep well last night? Akiha greets me calmly as I enter the room. She doesn't know I left last night. Since she was so worried, I feel guilty for sneaking out. Yeah, good morning, Akiha. You're up early today, too. No, I'm like always. Nissan? As if reading my mind, she looks directly at me. Is there something on my face, Akiha? No, that isn't it. Nissan, are you really alright? You still don't look well, so if you're still sick, maybe it's better if you just rest today. Oh, that's it. I relax, realizing she didn't find out about last night. No, I'm really okay. I'll be better sooner or later, so please don't look so worried. Okay, if you say so, Nissan, then I will not say anything. She goes quiet, looking still worried. It's rare for you to be convinced this quickly. It's not like you. Hey, I'm always sensible. I only warn you because you're the one with the problems, so please don't blame me for your imperfections. She glares at me. Oh, that's more like it. Hisui, does it not feel like morning unless Akiha gets harsh? Is it because I suddenly called out to her, or because she doesn't know what to say? Hisui neither confirms nor denies my statement. See? Look, Akiha, Hisui thinks so too. Don't be foolish. Hisui doesn't say anything because she's surprised. Wrinkling her forehead in a frown, Akiha glares again. Also, I've always wanted to say this, but you rely on Hisui too much. You have been sleeping since yesterday, so it would have been fine if you woke up earlier. But you always wake up late. Are you slacking off because Hisui does not say anything? What? You make it sound like I'm causing her trouble. Not like you are causing her trouble. Hey, don't you think so, Hisui? Hisui still doesn't say anything and stands there quietly. See? She says she thinks so too. No way, she didn't say anything. Hisui's silent, but her silence feels like she's agreeing more with Akiha. Ugh, I feel like it's now 2 against 1. Shiki-san, breakfast is ready. With great timing, Kohaku-san's voice echoes through the room. I'm gonna go eat. I quickly head towards the dining room. I feel the silent pressure of the two behind me drilling into my back. After breakfast, I head back to the sitting room. Akiha isn't there, and Hisui is the only one standing. Huh? Akiha left for school already? Yes, it's also time for you to go to school as well, Shiki-sama. Ah, it's already 20 after. I guess I should get going soon. To be honest, I still don't feel too good, but I'm sure I'll return to normal soon. Sorry, Hisui, but can you get my bag from my room? I'm going to wash my face. As you wish. After getting all my preparations done, I leave the mansion. Holding my bag, Hisui sees me off at the entrance. I'll be going. I'm not sure when I'll be back, but probably by dinner. Yes, I will be waiting. She gives a silent bow. There's a trace of uneasiness in her face. Hisui, are you feeling sick? No, it is not me, but you do not appear well. I'm unsure if it's a good idea to let you go. She speaks hesitantly. I'm all right. I don't feel great, but just a little heavy. Both you and Akiha like to worry a lot. Is that so? If it is just us, then that would be fine, but... Geez, I'll come back early today and rest, so that should be good, right? I won't overdo anything, so don't look like that. Yes, forgive me, Shiki-sama. She still looks very worried. I'm off. I'll be better by the time I get back, so please relax. Ah, Shiki-sama. I ignore her and leave the mansion. The image of Hisui watching me uneasily remains in my head. I head towards school. My feet are heavy, and it feels like I'm in another person's body as I head down the hill. It's probably just the weariness from last night. Even though I thought I'd recover right away, the sluggishness doesn't fade. It's 10 minutes until 8. The school gate is flooded with arriving students. Ah, by the gate, I see a familiar figure. Ciel senpai. It's a completely normal morning scene. But what I saw that time, if it wasn't for that, it would be a normal morning. Not even knowing what I plan on doing, I chase after senpai. Senpai, I call after her. Oh, good morning, Tohno-kun. It's strange meeting you out here. Yeah, I saw your figure from behind, so I ran after you, senpai. There's something I wanted to ask. I sneak a look at her face. Yes, what is it? She faces me with her usual gentle smile. Senpai, 2 nights ago, were you near my house? In a black coat and a skirt flowing in the wind? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, the high-laced boots suited you. I was kind of fascinated. You looked really cool. Huh? Senpai tilts her head. She frowns like she doesn't understand my words completely, and then denies it. I don't quite understand, but you're saying I was near your house 2 nights ago looking like that? Yeah, senpai, that was you, right? No way. Tohno-kun, are you saying I look like I really have that much free time? Senpai is really angry. She can't be playing dumb or lying. No, that's not it, but I saw someone that looked like you in the park last night, so... Senpai gives a sigh. Tohno-kun, that wasn't me. I don't have that kind of hobby. Yeah, I know. I just wanted to ask. Certainly, after having her say that, she is right. Ciel senpai and the person that night aren't related at all. In the first place, senpai's just a normal person. And if she actually was there, she had to have seen me fight that bandaged guy with my knife. If she saw such a gruesome scene, there'd be no way she could talk with me normally like this. Sorry, please forget about it. I guess it was just someone else. It's fine, but did that person really look like me? That weird person? Well, I'm not too sure. It was dark and far away. Huh? Yeah, it was far and I couldn't make out her face. So why did I think it looked like senpai? Maybe there is something wrong with me. I cross my arms and think. Then the 10-minute bell rings. Crap, we'll be late. Bye, senpai. See you later. I dash into the classroom. It's still 5 minutes before class, so it's very noisy inside. Arihiko isn't here. Knowing him, he'll probably come in around second period. Lunchtime. It looks like Arihiko's not coming. Inui Arihiko and Yumizuka Satsuki are the 2 people absent today. Yumizuka Satsuki has caught a cold or something. She'll be absent for a while. Senpai doesn't seem to be coming too, so I guess I'll eat by myself. I say that, but I'm not hungry. What is it? I didn't feel so good to begin with, but after coming to school, I feel a lot worse. It's not just my body feeling heavy. The scar on my chest is irritating. It's an annoying sensation. Maybe I shouldn't have come to school. For a brief moment, I see the worrying faces of Hisui and Akiha in my mind. Maybe the fact I ignored Akiha's wishes for me to rest last night, and instead went to see Arcueid might have caused this. Okay, here we go. Is this like a super delayed bad end? Being worn out by sitting, I start to feel a strange uneasiness. Class has started already. Which class was it? I can't remember today's 5th period lesson. Even though I looked at the blackboard and stare at the marks left behind by the teacher's chalk, I still don't know what class this is. I can't read it. The letters start to flow like water and mix together like some sort of hallucination. Ugh, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Dizziness. My mind starts to slide away. Click, click. Tremble, tremble. Creak, creak. Wobble, wobble. The noises stick out. Incompatibility. Where is that inconsistency coming from? I can't settle this feeling of something being out of place throughout my body. It fills me to the brim, as if my bones are sliding out of place in their joints. Yeah, since my joints are out of place, it causes the unnatural feeling. My corpse is burning unseen smoke and crumbling away. Click, click, tremble, tremble, creak, creak, wobble, wobble. I fall from my chair. A girl screams. I hear the footsteps of the teacher running to me. Even though I've completely passed out, I calmly watch myself from far away. What follows is, like always, collapse from my anemia. I was carried to the clinic where I slept until I recovered. Since I had a fever of over 38 degrees Celsius past 7 o'clock, school's closing time, the nurse called my house for someone to come pick me up and went home. And this resulted in... Are you okay, Shiki-san? You still have a fever, so please don't hesitate to lean on my shoulder. Yeah, that's how it is. No, I'm alright. I can at least walk, so please don't worry. Stepping away from Kohaku-san, I attempted to bluff my way out of it. Jeez, it's embarrassing enough for Kohaku-san to come pick me up. The day I lean on her shoulders, too, I'll die. That's no good, forcing yourself like that. It isn't your fault that your body's weak, Shiki-san, so you can ask for help a little. I won't tell Akiha-sama or Hisui-chan, so it's okay to depend on me for now. With a gentle smile, she takes my hand. Yeah, sorry. Blushing furiously, I meekly do as she says. Certainly, I might collapse if I continue to be stubborn. There's a car waiting outside, so please hold on until then. Pulling my hand, Kohaku-san starts to walk. This isn't good. Just walking makes me incredibly dizzy. I depend upon Kohaku-san to lead me to the stairwell as I hold on to my consciousness. Huh? Why am I going up to the second floor? Kohaku-san, this isn't the right way. I call out to her. There's no response. No, not only that. I don't feel her hand or even see her. Kohaku-san? I use all of my foggy consciousness to look around me. There's no one in the hallway. Only the moonlight streaming from the window is vivid. It comes suddenly, the sound of my heartbeat, and a chill that races up my spine. Thump, tap, thump, tap, thump, tap, thump, tap, thump, tap, thump, tap, 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 tap. In the darkness, the footsteps draw closer. This is similar to the fear I felt from that one time. Kohaku-san, I call her name. Not to call for help, but to tell her to escape. I frantically call her name. Kohaku-san, Kohaku-san, Kohaku-san. Where is she? I don't see her anywhere. The footsteps are near me now. At least, I want Kohaku-san to escape here unharmed. It's useless, Shiki. She's already done. I hear a voice. In the darkness in front of me is the bandaged man who tried to kill me that night. Why is it I feel like I know this person's face? You sure aren't lucky. If I knew it was like this, I wouldn't have waited for you in front of the mansion. The footsteps draw closer. I try to move, but I can only totter along. I guess I pushed my body too hard. It seems like my body at the very last moment broke down. This is the end, so I'll tell you. This is my lair now. I hear a stabbing sound. In his hands, a knife. The silver blade pierces directly into my heart. I collapse to the ground. I feel death working its way from my very fingertips. My mind fades away drop by drop. In that process, with my fading mind, I look up at the sky. I have nowhere else to look, so I just look there. The blue moon is in the night sky. How stupid. I'm about to die, but I'm charmed by such an ordinary thing. When is this memory from? In a forest like a black veil. On that terrible night, just like this, I was staring only at the moon. Alright, there we go. We're definitely getting the longer ones now, where you almost feel like you've escaped from bad consequences, but there's the hints that something is wrong. Hello, the hint corner from the poor lost Tohno-kun who ended up in a dead end without knowing his left from his right. It's time for Teach Me, Ciel-sensei. I see, you've come to the 5th period. I think there are lots of Tohno-kuns who fall into this end. Well, it's your divine punishment. Regret your own unluckiness for associating with such a woman. Why? You're not the one to talk, Ciel. After all, your goal from the beginning was always... Now then, normally there'd be no chance of salvation, but some of you came here in spite of rejecting that Sunny's vampire. Sunny, even though she's a vampire, I'm picking a fight. So I'll throw you a lifeboat. There are about 3 reasons you came to this dead end, but to avoid it, you have to reassure your sister sometimes. You have to indulge a stupid woman's selfishness sometimes. And to find a dirty vampire, try going to a very dirty place. That's about it. Hey, Ciel, I don't get this. Question denied. Or so I'd like to say, but there seem to be many questions on this, so I will answer it. DNM is D for dizzy, N for not healthy, M for moon. It has the same initials as Dark Night Moon. It's a small play on words. I see. That's weird. Why that little? Well, that ends the lesson this time. Everyone, please remember to use proper Japanese. Alright, there we go. Let's do as Akiha says this time. I guess it can't be helped. I'm afraid I'll make her cry if I keep going against her. Alright, I'll go to sleep for today. Saying that, I lie down. Really? You're not going to sneak out of the room later? No, I get it. To tell the truth, my body feels incredibly heavy. I don't think I could sneak outside. Thank goodness. Akiha breathes out and relaxes visibly. Hisui, tell Kohaku Nisan's awake. Nisan, what about dinner? Oh, yeah. No, tell Kohaku I'm sorry, but I don't think I can eat right now. I'm just going to go to sleep. I understand. Then, Hisui, tell Kohaku that. Still looking downcast, Hisui nods and leaves the room. Now then. Lying in bed, I start to feel sleepy again. Like this, I bet I could fall asleep in less than a minute. But before that... Akiha, there's a place like that in the garden? Yes, when we were children, we used to play there often. Oh, for some reason, I don't remember it well. Yeah, I really did forget all about it. One more thing. It's a weird question, but when we were kids, wasn't there another kid with us? Huh? She tilts her head, like she doesn't understand what I'm saying. I guess not. There couldn't have been another kid. But if that's true, how strange. The scene I saw in my dream, and the dream I saw in the clearing. These two are the same. And it doesn't make sense unless there's another kid that was killed. No, it's nothing. Just talking about a dream. Is that so? Then good night, Nisan. Please rest well. Yeah, I'll do that. As soon as I answer her, I fall asleep as fast as if I had passed out again. Alright, well that was quite a lot of information, quite a lot of stuff happened. Learning that, as I figured, Ciel is not who she appears to be. She can deny it all she wants that wasn't her. Unless we've got, like, a secret sister or someone who happens to look just like Ciel running around. It seems that she is a vampire hunter. I had a feeling. Well, I thought maybe she was a vampire or, like, maybe a werewolf or something with all, like, the sniffing and the weird things with, like, she smells things. But I knew there was something off about her, clearly. We have seemed to have come across the big bad that Arcueid's been hunting down, who has confronted us directly. So, like, it seems like Arcueid said the dead are all, well, dead. He doesn't have any more left over, so he has no choice but to come out and try and defeat us. And yeah, that is where we leave off. And the flashback, once again, the constant flashbacks to apparently I killed somebody when I was a kid. A child that nobody, or at least Akiha probably remembers, but is trying to block out. I doubt it was like another sibling. I doubt that I have a secret sibling that I killed when I was young that I've just forgotten about. Maybe it was like a family friend or something, but something going on there. So we got quite a bit of information in this episode, and I'm excited now that the enemy has kind of shown himself. Now we gotta try and, like, take him out directly, but it is scary knowing that he's got the same ability that I have. So that's dangerous. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Also, as mentioned at the beginning, I will be taking a break, a week off from YouTube, just to kind of rest after the holidays. So there will be no episode of Tsukihime or any of my usual videos out the following week. So there will be a delay, but we will have the next episode coming out in a little bit. You'll just have to wait a while. But thank you so much for watching this episode, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Revealing Storm, Lynn's VA, Kenju Storm, Icognito, and Bad Cat.